and I'm writing on this topic, burnout among nurses. Nobody has time for that. You must have a watertight application, poor proposal structure. If your document is untidy, graphical errors, nobody has time for that. If you ignore supervisor feeds, I get so many emails, I don't bother to respond because I don't have time to start training a student I don't know that wants to apply for PhD in my university under my supervision. Writing, please, if you can help me. If my topic is not good, let me know any topic that you want me to do. I'm ready to learn, or come and teach me. Nobody has time for that. The university has not employed me to start teaching random people how to write application for PhD and submit to me, and for me to now bring them for interview and give them offer, and the university looking for scholarship for them. No. So there's no time for that. If you are not good, not ready, nobody will respond to you. Avoid late submissions too. Okay, so we're getting ready to finish. Let's look at resources and support. You need a lot of resources and support to get your PhD done. Scholarship intervened. Looking for a PhD scholarship is a job in itself. It's like looking for a job, and you cannot be on Facebook and Instagram when be playing hours upon hours when you're looking for PhD scholarship. You have to be checking, find a PhD.com, jobs.ac.uk, scholarship positions.com, different websites. You need to subscribe to them. It's free. Just click subscribe button. Every day they send you scholarship opportunities. Even if it's not too regular, you get these things. You know what's going on. I still check these websites even when I'm not looking for one. I want to know what's going on. You need to have hands-on information. In fact, all the universities' websites. You have a list of all the universities in the UK. What are you doing with your time when you're looking for scholarship? Go to their website one by one. Go and check the topics that they've advertised for PhD. You get ideas on the current trend of topics that they would like. Go and check the profile of their PhD students. So you go to University of Leicester, you go to University of Sheffield, go to University of Manchester. If you are in the School of Business, for example, you go to their business school, you see their PhD candidate listed there. Check their profile one by one. What topics are they working on? Who are they working under? You get all this information when they advertise for scholarship. You check. How I started developing my PhD proposal was how did I get the topic? I got it from a university website in the UK, University of Reading. I saw the topic they advertised. I liked it. I picked it. I started developing it. I use it to apply to other schools because if they can advertise it means there's something about the topic in terms of contemporary knowledge. I developed it on myself, sent to other schools. Then I met another professor in Durham University that told me, no, change the topic a bit. Have you heard about destructive leadership? That's the first time I heard about it. Why? Because I sent them a proposal on a topic that I called leadership dysfunction and its effect on organizational culture. And I said, no, make it about destructive leadership. That was a changing point in my life. I developed a new topic. I started working on it, and that's my area till today. So you must go to all the websites, check everywhere, scholarship website, keep yourself updated like that. You know what's going on. Keep refining your proposal, keep working hard, keep applying, keep looking for a mentor, looking for support. University funding resources, you must check all the university website. I just said that. Professional network on LinkedIn. You have to be active on LinkedIn. You have to optimize your profile. Some people don't have pictures with their LinkedIn profile. They don't go there. If you don't go to LinkedIn, but you go to Twitter. You need to go to LinkedIn network, link up with lecturers, send them friend requests, see what they are posting, follow university website, follow funding resources, you get updates, you know what's going on. So even if you are not in the wherever you are, you are still knowledgeable, you are aware. Then seek for writing support services, writing centers, look for a mentor. Abimbola has been there to supportive students. So you need all these resources. All right. So For me, I also offer mentoring and consulting through a company called Tech Ever Solution Limited, where I can provide training and support. For example, to secure a PhD, I can train you for 6 months. Developing your proposal, developing your doctoral thinking, reading and giving feedback on your proposal, telling you what you need to do to secure your scholarship. Just training you and preparing you, and you can be sure if you have a solid profile already, like a first class or distinction, and maybe you have 1 or 2 publications. I just give you all the guide and all the support where you can start applying for scholarship and get personalized support. So there's a website there, www.techeversolution.com. It's a new company that we are setting up. If you keep tabs here, you can follow me and get more details from Adimbola too. If you can afford it, and if you need the training to prepare you for PhD scholarship and even your doctoral life. Okay. And I've written some books in this recently. I'm just putting the finishing touches, and these books will soon be published. So just to let you know that you can also get support and resources through some of my books, and these are 2 important books for international students. Crossing Borders, a guide to thriving in the British higher educational system, and the second one, When the Distance Hurts, understanding and overcoming separation anxiety in the mobile world. It's not an easy thing to move from one country to another. It's an exciting thing, the thing of joy, but there are some realities that will hit you. You have to start dealing with anxiety and uncertainty, and how do you prepare yourself? So I have these two coming up very soon. So just let Abimbola know. And once the books are ready, I also sell to the Nigerian market, apart from in probably some subsidized rates for Nigerians, and you can get this material. That's all I'll say for now. I think this will be the end of my presentation. Final tips and conclusion. If I take questions. Encourage, stay persistent despite setbacks, and believe in your values and potential. Seek mentorship. Have a community of contact or support that can help you secure your scholarship. Thank you very much for listening. Any question at this time? Question time. Thank you, Abimbola, for having me, and I'm happy to take questions. I've done 45 minutes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Godbless. Thank you for honoring the invitation. Does anyone have a question before we end the session regarding the presentation so far? I understand that there's an echo somewhere. We have been trying to fix it, but unfortunately we were not able to. So I got a bit of some comments from the participants, but I guess some were able to follow through as well to listen to all the insights and tips you've shared. So if there's anyone that has a question, yeah, Adekunle, please go ahead and ask your question. You can unmute and ask your question, please. You can unmute, or if you prefer to type it, that's okay. If there's any other person with another question, you can
Okay,
go ahead.
ma'am.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, it's really a good experience to be here. So, although my question is, it may be out of context for someone from engineering background, and based on my vision, I wanted something that would be more of me being in industry than a full-fledged academia. So I've heard of a professional PhD and so. So I don't know, is there a better way one can plan his career that will suit that vision? So that's the major question I have. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your question. I don't know too much about engineering background, but I know that in the area of management, for example, there's professional PhD. They call it DBA. doctorate of business administration. So it doesn't have the same academic rigor like a traditional PhD. So if you have your background in the industry, you want to continue your life in the industry, that means you are saying you are not a true scholar. You don't necessarily want to be a lecturer. So you can do your DBA, professional doctorate, much later in your career, and just have that title. We can also open doors and have extra knowledge in your field, either in engineering or in management. So there are opportunities for that. But I'm not quite sure those ones get fully funded scholarship, because you are saying that you want a professional doctorate, you are at certain levels in your career and you can afford it. So you are not really asking for scholarship. Scholarship is supposed to position you to be a lecturer, to contribute to knowledge in academia, not to retain your job in the industry as a big man and then coming to get a PhD that somebody should pay for, that you're not going to give back to the university. You get. Because this program is about scholarships and opportunities like that. So if you want a professional doctorate where you can do at your own time and fulfill your own self-actualization, all well and good. But most likely you will have to get the money yourself to pay, or your organization can pay for you. That can be your funding source. So I hope I managed to answer your question.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
There's another question from Elijah. He's trying to type it out. So while we wait for Elijah, I would like to buttress more on Dr. God Bless services. If you need guidance, if you need someone to help you review your proposals and have a second look at it, is the person you should speak to, because he actually played a huge role during my application processes too. So if you want his contact or you need to get his insights or opinion about how to go about your master's or PhD scholarship applications, you can chat me up. You can also visit his website, to go through the services he renders, and he will be able to help you in that aspect. While we wait for Elijah to finish typing his question, does anyone else have a question? Anyone on the call? Okay, yeah. Elijah's question has dropped now. He said, my proposed PhD focus is on local content development. That is to say, I want to work on improving local material in Nigeria so as to substitute for international products. Is it possible that I can secure funding from international organizations, being that I am working on a product that may compete with international products?
Thank you very much, Elijah, for that question. One of the things about developing your proposal on specific topics is that you have to be careful, especially when you are looking for funding. If you have money out of your pocket to pay for your PhD, you can study anything you want to study. For example, the Emir of Kano recently completed his PhD, Islamic education, cultural issues. You want to study about how Nigeria was colonized, no problem. But when you need somebody else to pay for your PhD, UK Research Council, that's all kinds of complex scholarships. The question is, what is your topic about? I had that situation initially when I was trying to get a PhD scholarship. I always put Nigeria, organizational culture, and organizational commitment in Nigeria manufacturing. Nobody's interested in Nigeria manufacturing industry. If you want to solve Nigeria's problem, go and meet the federal government. I can assure you that even the federal government, they don't have your time. They're looking for money for election. You get so. Your topic is interesting. You are trying to solve something that you're passionate about. I get it. But the question is, what does it matter in the grand scheme of things in terms of contributing to knowledge, global knowledge? on that subject area. What does Nigeria have to do with anything there? So if you want to now get scholarship from international organizations or from local organizations in that area, fantastic. You also know that there are political dimensions to this kind of thing. You cannot just walk up to Nigeria Labour Congress, Nigeria Content Development Creation, Nigeria Export Import Bank, and say you have something, a scholarship proposal on the local content, and just walk through the door and they'll give you scholarship. You know the country you are in. Who do you know? How will you access them? Even if you have very great idea, how does it benefit them? When you disappear to UK and they start funding you for how many years? What would you give them back? So it's always a very complex terrain to go in. I want to solve a special problem in the Niger Delta. So you need the Niger Delta to fund you. How will you access them? The people in that did they tell you that they even believe in your scholarship? You think they don't know what to do? So that's the challenge when you are in an environment where they don't value research. I saw one post on LinkedIn where somebody was saying how they dump master's project, hard copy, they just put them in dustbin. They are not used for anything. Even in Nigeria, though I doubt it, they have a website where all PhD theses are deposited. Like in England, they have a British Library. Anybody that studied for a PhD in England, it's in the British Library. It's deposited online. You just need to go to Ethos British Library and search for my name. You'll see my PhD. You can even download it. So even if I did my PhD in 1965, it's in the record in England. They know it. You get. But in Nigeria, do we have that kind of database? Do we have that kind of research culture where somebody is interested in funding your PhD to address specific sector needs? I don't think so. So if you want to go that route, you just suffer yourself. For you are passionate about something. At the end of the day, you are frustrated. You can't do anything. So think about refining your proposal that speaks to global issues, not agricultural development in Nigeria, or global issues that can contribute to the global literature. So that if a professor in England and US sees your proposal, he understands the literature you are dealing with. Whereas, let me put it at this point, you can collect data from Nigeria. There's no problem about that. So you may be dealing with a global issue, but when it comes to data, you tell them, for data accessibility, you can access data from Nigeria, primary or secondary data, but not that you are trying to solve Nigeria problem with your PhD. It will affect you in terms of securing funding. I collected my PhD data from Nigeria, but it wasn't in my topic. It's just a data collection point, and then I can speak about the context. But the issue is global. I can contribute to the literature. I can publish from that thesis for the university that I'm working. So I know I've said a lot. I don't know if it makes sense. So you don't fall into that trap of trying to solve Nigeria problem. You can't solve it with scholarship like this. Is it helpful? I think Elijah might type in if he's unable to speak. So that's my response to the question. Thank you. Yeah, he's responded.
Okay. Does anyone have any other question? You can unmute if you have any other question and ask your question. You can also indicate by the raising of your hand. And if you don't want to do that, you can type and then I'll read out your question for you. We'll wait for the next 4 minutes to see if there's any other question. And if there isn't, then that would be at the end of the session. But hopefully there will be another question before we end the session. Okay, so there's another question for you, Dr. Godwin. It says, thank you very much, Doctor, for your insights so far. Which country will you advise for someone who is interested in solving environmental issues?
Thank you for your question, Abdulaziz. I won't be able to say which particular country, but I know that PhD topic or any issue you want to deal with, it can work, you can do it in any country. The question will be now, what is your preference? And do you understand? I didn't have enough time to discuss the dynamics of applying for PhD scholarship to different countries. Applying to the UK is different from applying to Canada, applying to the US. One of the things when I do training about PhD is to understand the difference between British academic system and American academic system. And the requirements for these two systems are different. And there was a difference between scholarship and studentship. So let me explain these two things. Why? Just generally, but like I've answered your question already. You can do it in the UK, you can do it in the US, you can do it in Canada. Once you find a good supervisor and good university that can supervise you in that topic, it doesn't matter the country, they can handle it, and then you find your proposal. But the question is, if I was going to go to the US, if I was going to go to the UK, if I was going to go to Canada, what do I expect? What is the difference? How do I get in there? So that's the difference between British educational system and American educational system. American educational system has 5 years typically for PhD. So you need to get that at the back of your mind. That is 5 years, and they train you in a way that they don't really count your master's degree. So they train you to get like a master's degree or a master's in philosophy within the first 2 years. Then your PhD starts at the 3rd year, and you finish on the 5th year or before the 5th year. So typical American system of PhD is 5 years. That's why you see that they always ask you for GMAT or GRE, TOEFL. They don't really ask you for a full-fledged proposal. Because they know that they are training you in the first 2 years to do coursework, like you're studying for your masters, and then you will now start developing your proposal within the program. And at the end of the 2nd year, you have your proposal. Then you start your PhD properly. You finish in 5 years. You get it. But the British educational system for PhD is 3 years. So there they expect you to go straight into your PhD. They are not trying to train you like the masters or MPhil, develop you. No, once you start one, it's like Nigeria president. You hit the ground running. Then they ask you, how do you want to run? You keep running. How do you continue running? Which means you have to have been prepared for your PhD before you started. You have a solid proposal ready. You have done your master's degree. You know research methods. Then you now continue to develop the proposal immediately. They'll be giving you doctoral training in your first year, but they are not exams. They are not like American system where you are doing modules and writing exams. No, it's just training, doctoral training, ethics and integrity, data collection, all those kinds of things while your work goes on. So after the first year, you pass your confirmation review, you start collecting data, you continue writing up, analyzing your work, write up your thesis. In 3 years and 3 months, you are out. So just to understand these two systems. However, I explained American educational system and British system. But there are some universities in England, in Britain, that operate the American style. So you need to understand this dichotomy. So American educational system, which you can use for America and many schools in France. British educational system, which you use for England. But there are some schools in England where they now operate American system. For example, Cambridge, Oxford, maybe Durham University. So they will tell you that your PhD is not a typical traditional 3 years PhD. It's 4 years. And that 4 years is 4 years plus. So what they are telling you is that in the first year you have to do some serious rigorous training, like an MPhil. So if you understand this, you know what to prepare and you know the terms of the requirements. So for the course British students, they don't ask for GMAT or GRE. That's what America will ask for. But in England, they will ask for good research proposal. So after explaining that, the last thing I wanted to explain is the difference between studentship and scholarship. We use the broad term scholarship because we are talking about getting funding for your PhD. But technically, there's a difference between scholarship and studentship. Scholarship is when you develop your proposal. You have your own idea, like you mentioned your topic. You develop your work. You look for supervisors in the UK, for example, that can supervise your work. And then you submit your proposal to them. They are happy to supervise you. And it's either you are there's now an opportunity for funding from the university. And the university says that you have the best proposal, or we align ourselves with your topic and you pay for your PhD. That's the scholarship. But studentship is when the university themselves advertise PhD opportunities by themselves. You were not the one that gave them the topic. You were not the one that told them to advertise. They advertise on their own. They have 10 topics you want to sponsor. And they're inviting applications for those topics. Probably you are coming across those topics for the first time. So you look at this, topic 2, I think I can work on it. You begin to read, you develop the proposal, package your application, you apply, they shortlist you for interview, and they give you the scholarship. While it is a scholarship, it is a studentship. It's tied. There's an objective of that project that you are aligning yourself to. It was not your idea. In my own case, I got a scholarship. So I developed my topic. I sent to the university. They gave me offer. Later on, they now brought funding opportunities. They now said, and it was because of my application. My application opened doors. So when they finished interviewing me, they said my application is very strong, and they recommended me to the university for funding. The university said they did not have money. That I should be on the waiting list. So from February 2018, I was on waiting list. March, April, May. You know Nigeria have to do fasting and prayer. What will happen to me on waiting list? I emailed my supervisor, potential supervisor at that time. Any news? They say nothing. No. Well, let's see what happens. Which means if he come, then around July, June. They now said the university now said there was now funding. But they cannot just give me like that, even though I've been on waiting list. That they now have to do in UK equal and open opportunities. So they brought out maybe 5 or 10, 7 topics. They now have that. But one of the topics was my topic. So they had told my supervisors that based on my proposal that they've given me offer. They now changed the topic a little bit, but it was my idea. Crafted it into a project, advertised it to everybody apply. But for me, they now sent me a message that rewrite a new proposal just to align to that new topic, which is still my topic. Send your updated statement of purpose and send your PhD offer. So there's something called offer holder. If you're an offer holder, you have one step ahead. If I'm already an offer holder, they took time to interview me. They gave me a scholarship offer. Sorry, PhD offer. So as an offer holder, I have a chance over somebody applying fresh. And because it's my work, and at the background, my supervisor say, when you develop this new 1,000 word proposal, send it to us. They gave me feedback, strengthen here. So they know it's me they want, but they have advertised to everybody in the world. So everybody apply sharp. Then they invited me for the interview again. After I've done interview in February, then I invited me for an interview in July or early August. I got there, the head of the panel. Hey, God bless. It's good to see you again. When we saw this project, I knew it was your project. We just have to do the interview again like a formality. You get. And they did it. And the next day, August 14. Congratulations. That we fully funded scholarship. Scholarship cannot be postponed to another academic year. You are expected to resume first of all. Oh yeah. So that was how my own was scholarship, but it looked a bit like studentship, but it was already my idea. You get. So I've explained the difference between scholarship and studentship, British educational and American system. So I hope all this information are helpful for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Douglas, for answering the question. There's another question that says, I would love to do a PhD in a country that does not speak English, as I'm interested in learning another language like Spanish, German, or French. Are there scholarships that gives option to learn foreign language first? maybe for a year in that country before the actual program begins?
Thank you for that question. No, absolutely. Most times in Nigeria, we only talk about UK. I don't know what the thing that tied Nigeria and UK, maybe it's a colonial. Everybody likes UK. And then America, Canada. But the truth is that there are nice, good opportunities in other countries. And understandably why some people don't try to go to those places. Sweden, Denmark, France, Portugal has amazing opportunities for PhD. Poland, Australia, New Zealand, so many countries. But people don't go there because of the language barrier. But now that you have the gift of you can learn a new language you love, absolutely. Even Italy, because I got a friend that was my best man. He did his PhD in Italy. So they will tell you that it's English language they used to do the PhD. But when you go there, you're expected to speak the language because you cannot meaningfully engage in the society without that language. And then when they go there, you see them teaching the students in Italian. So he has to start learning Italy. Yeah, I don't even my native language. I don't know how to speak it. Now go and start. No. I don't have power. Let me do my PhD in peace and be going. You tell me to go and start learning French or Germany or Italian. I don't have that strength. But if you yes, as part of the first year coursework, you'll be learning that language. You'll be learning the language because eventually they may give you graduate teaching associate or assistant lecturer, and you need to teach. So you can be learning the language, studying for your PhD, but your PhD might still be in the English language. You're required to learn that language. So if you are that flexible, it also gives you more opportunities because the scholarship that are not available for people who cannot learn language are now available for you. So you need to go to all those different countries one by one, list out all the top universities there that you can start checking for opportunities. Like in Germany now, scholarship is there. Free education. But how many Nigerians want to go to Germany? Can you learn German? Can you deal with maybe racism and all those things there? But if you are ready, you find them carefully for 6 months to 1 year. It's a long-term project to search for what you want, apply persistently, improving yourself, and it's worth it too. I spent 3 years and a half looking to get a scholarship. The day you get it, you will not remember how you're suffering anymore. It's worth it. So it's not a short-term project. Looking for PhD admission and scholarship is not I just do it in 1 month and just get it. You're joking. You have to. That's why it's a question of how bad do you want it. Is it your calling? Is it something you are really passionate about? And it's not just about escapism. Oh, I just want to leave Nigeria. If I cannot get a job directly in the UK, I need a PhD. I want to do PhD. Or some people like the idea of being a scholar. You like the idea of children, but you don't really love children. I love the idea of lecturer, doctor, but do you really want it? Is it your gift? Otherwise, if you try it for 6 months, you get rejection. Unfortunately, on this occasion, those rejections will damage you, and then you tell yourself, "I'm not doing it again," because it never really was yours. You're just looking for way to escape Nigeria. If you believe, if you are ready for it, if you worked for it, your undergraduate, all the excellence. When I finished my master's in Unilab in 2014, I knew this is what I wanted. Everybody have been telling me from my undergraduate days that you are a lecturer. I said, no, I don't want. I'm always with red pen, blue pen, black. I had a tutorial center as an undergraduate student. When I was in third year, I'll teach 300 level, my classmates, teach 200, teach 100. I prepare everybody for their exams. When I do tutorial classes for my own classmates who were supposed to write the same exam together, they'll be fighting for chair to attend my tutorial. That was already a clue that your own classmates fight for chair to listen to you, and they pay 100. They will pay money and they will fight for chair to listen to me. Then we'll do tests. Lecturers in the class would say, a sheet of paper, 500 students, 400 students will write. By the next week, the lecturer will come. Who is God bless Ataige? See me. You pick out your script out of 500. Like, no. I was in 200 level. You say, no, you write like somebody in final year. Come and see me. So all those pointers, the intelligence, God-given intelligence, the diligence, the study, the academic excellence. I finished my master's. I was now, my supervisor said, she sees my project technically. She don't give me her own PhD thesis. That should go and produce how many papers? Three papers from her thesis. Gave me the topic. That was even my prayer point that year, that I want to publish paper. I want to prepare for my PhD. So when I finished developing it from there, write out the results, full-fledged paper, gave it to her. She now approved my own thesis. And she did it because she thought that when I finished my master's, I would run away. So she wanted to keep me back. I stayed back. Then those papers were published. And then she said, how are you going to? Are you looking for a job? I said, I want to do PhD. She stay with me now. So I stayed with her. She gave me a key to her office. I was working with her. I was not being paid. I'm telling you, I was my first degree, second class upper, my master's distinction. Even before I started, when I was finishing my bachelor's degree, I was already a chartered banker. When I was in banking class, I was teaching bank managers, but I didn't get any job in the bank. I didn't change my age, Nigeria. Then I finished again as a chartered personnel, CIPM. I had all of that, but I was willing to work with my master supervisor for free. Of course, she can't pay me how much is the salary. So I was hanging out, supporting lecturers, doing that. I'm telling you, what I'm saying is that the passion, believing in the fact that this is my line, and not looking at money. Because I was supposed to be working in the bank, and then my classmates will come, what are you doing here? You are working with lecturers. With all the book that you cannot do anything with your life. Why they don't understand. But me, I know what I was looking for. So I had to pay that price, write their papers, work with them, improve my CV until a research opportunity showed up at Lagos Business School. At the time I was going there for that job, I had 14 publications. You get opportunity meets preparation. When they saw my CV, what? The publications you already have is enough to be a senior lecturer, and yet you have not started PhD. You get it's something of passion. It's something that you know that you belong there, and you have excellence. Not that you just want to stumble into being a lecturer. So I've said so much already, and hope this story can help you think about why you want to study for a PhD. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. God bless. There's another question that says, just is similar to the question Abdulaziz asked about which country you would advise for someone interested in solving environmental issues. Somebody is also asking if there's any country you advise for someone interested in animal production and health.
Okay. I want to just his name on the LinkedIn.
Okay.
And you'll be able to connect with you. So let's take the question again. The country, right?
Yeah, like maybe a country that is more tilted towards agriculture.
So let's have agriculture. I have no idea, honestly. But what I can recommend is that the question, first of all, is which countries do you like? So you need to have some love, affinity, some desire for that country. Why you also desire your area of specialty. So I know some people say, I don't like UK, I will never go to UK. So if you don't like UK from beginning, you have your bias, you prefer US. Why are you looking for scholarship in the UK? Don't waste your time. So you are looking for the scholarship even when you don't like the country, or you are looking for the country that you like, and then the opportunities in that country, two different things. So top three, if you have a choice to make, what's your desired dream country? If it's UK, it's UK. Start looking for your agriculture, something in the UK, and find it. There's no way if you are looking for what you are looking for in where you love, and you find it. If not exactly close to it. maybe your second top country is Canada, right? But if you've now checked all the countries you love and you cannot see the thing what you are looking for, then you can ask yourself, where exactly is it? Is it in the Europe, Scandinavia, Russia, Sweden? You will find it. So find what you are looking for, but also consider where you love to be. Because you are going to it's like marriage. You are going to be stuck in that country. Culture, language, weather. How many Nigerians do you hear they are looking for scholarship in Russia? Because you will know yourself. The people there is not playing with you. And are you ready to go and battle Putin? So that's the thing. So you need to love the destination you want to go to, while also looking for all the opportunities available. So ask yourself where you want to be, and then most times people have not done research. They are not passionate yet. Some people will send you question. How can you help me search for this one? What happened to your hand? You don't want it yet. Is it that you don't know how to use your phone, or you don't know how to use it? You are supposed to have a list. UK, how many universities are in this? 100. Write them down. How many of them are strong research institutions with funding? 40 out of them. Write them down. Have you visited all their websites one by one? Know the professors there, the research they are doing, the funding will not do it. You have to sleep on it. Then you go to then I used to go as far as New Zealand. All the universities in New Zealand, I know them. You write them down. Who are their scholars? Who are their names? What is their opportunity? One by one. Go and comb them. Then you are talking. You subscribe to their email. When anything is coming up, you search. But otherwise, you will sit down with Bala Blue there. People will be eating Abadu because you are not yet passionate, you are not really ready. So it's up to you in the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lovelace. So there's another question that says, what are the most common mistakes applicants make in scholarship applications, and how can I avoid them?
I've already said some of them in the presentation. So you need to go back to the presentation, but you have to be fully prepared, strong quality proposal, and that's it comes up to training. If you are well trained and well groomed in preparing your proposals, then like I said again, approaching professors when you are not ready. You need to have all your documents. For example, you need to list them down. Number one, by BSc certificate, BSc transcript together. Do you have it? Because you have to be ready. Not that it's where scholarship, something now comes. I'm going to University of Ogbomoso. They are on strike. I cannot get my transcript. You were not ready. You need to have your master's degree. The certificate is ready. The transcript, do you have it? That's two. Number three, personal statement. Have you written it? Is this solid? Are you prepared? Number four, recommendation letters. Who are the people recommending you? Two recommendation letter or three, as the case may be. Do they have access to it? Are they people reliable that are ready to give you? Some people can wait for recommendation letter like this. If they don't come, they'll miss opportunity that has already come to them. Is it ready? Number four, your proposal. Is this solid? Is this strong? Is it prepared? I mean, number five, right? Next one. Do you have publications? Have you worked on any paper? Are you working on any paper? Number six, are you working in a research institution? Where do you work? If you are working in a bank, you apply for scholarship. I would be a bit concerned. Like, okay, why are you in a bank? Okay, if that's where you can work now and you are still ready. How about your proposal? Is this strong? Then the next one, your CV, is this solid? So you need to have all these documents down. So that it's not when opportunity now come, you are now running around to look for this document. So the strength of your proposal, all your documentation, approaching supervisors at the right time, knowing the opportunities and the windows, then preparing for the scholarship interviews themselves. Have you prepared? Then you need to prepare, record yourself. Go online. What are the questions they ask? Can you pass a scholarship interview? So if you don't have all these things ready, they are common pitfalls. People just thinking that it's a walk in the park, is an easy thing. No, scholarship is even sometimes more difficult than getting a job. It's sometimes more difficult than getting a job because they're looking for special people with brain, not just anybody that has work experience as a sales executive. You can apply for that one and get a job in 3 months. But to get scholarship, it can take you 3 years because you have to do with site windows. And once you miss it in one school, you're looking for the next school. So when I said I made over 60 applications. So if you now apply to all the universities in UK and they reject you, what will you do? Are you going to move to another country? You see that? So it's not the same with getting a job because you are applying to specific institutions and departments. So that means you need to improve yourself and go back to the same universities. The university where I got scholarship, University of Sheffield, I applied to them in 2016. I got a rejection. What was my mistake? I didn't know. I applied. I just applied for the admission and put 2 supervisors' names, but I'd never contacted the supervisors. That's a mistake. I was not informed. I'd never contacted them. Number two, the proposal was poor. Number three, it wasn't aligned to their area. Number four, I don't even have the knowledge. But at the time I was now applying back to the same school 2 years later, what did I do? I developed a 72-page proposal. 72 pages proposal because I had training. And not just a weak proposal, solid proposal that a first-year PhD student cannot even develop. I now sent a mail specifically to two or three potential supervisors. One of them wrote me back and said, this is an impressive work. Go and condense it to 3,000 words. Apply and name me as a supervisor. You see the difference between the 2 times, 2016, 2018. So when I condensed it into 3,000, it's now strong. I applied and I named her as a supervisor. And the document was sent to her, to her email or to her desk. And she remembered that she's had the conversation with me, she had a chat with me, and she's happy to accept me. And then they gave me offer. And this time, I now got scholarship. So if you don't have this strategy, specific approaches, you just be shooting bullets on the air and nothing will come out of it. So these are some mistakes, but it takes information, it takes mentoring to know what to do. I hope I answer your question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gomez. So someone sent me a message here. The person dropped his own question as a message. He said, for someone who looks forward to working in the industry in the nearest future, but also wants to further his education in energy, what would be your advice for the person? Does that mean that if I get enrolled in PhD, I must tend towards academia or research? Or is it possible to obtain a PhD and still work in the industry? Or should I just wait at my master's level?
Thank you for that question. If you desire to study for a PhD, why not? You can still get your PhD and go back to the industry. So there are 2 routes. After your PhD, you go to the industry or go to academia. So there's no rule that you must be a lecturer. So you can go back to the industry. And what the PhD does for you now, it takes you higher. So you get top jobs. You get senior positions. Like now we talk about energy sector. Who will be looking for your expertise? They'll be looking for your research skills, the innovation you can bring. So PhD takes you top of the ladder. But if you start working in the industry and then later on you want to go to study for your PhD. It's still okay. But the challenge usually is that you will struggle because you've disconnected yourself from the classroom, built your career in the industry for 10 years, 15 years. Now you want to go and study for PhD. So you will not be thinking scholarly, you'll be thinking practically. That's why people like that tend to do doctorate in business administration, not traditional PhD, because they don't have the scholarly thinking anymore. They've seen money. That's why those who really belong to the classroom, they stay back after their masters. They stay back and go straight to their PhD because you are not yet corrupted, if I can use that word, by industry money, industry this thing. You know what money does. So even when people make it in the industry, they now come. They don't do a very solid PhD, or they just want to do it for self-actualization, prestige, and go back to their jobs. They don't really go back to the classroom. So you see them make statements like, how much do they pay me in the classroom? Of course, can't pay you. Because you've been eating money in your energy industry work. So why were you coming for the PhD? Except you genuinely want the knowledge just to advance and then go back to the classroom. Again, you have competing interests. You are very busy. You don't have time for the research, but you want the PhD. So you always have that conflict. But guess what? Those who sacrifice. You say, I told you I was chartered banker, chartered personnel. I never work in any bank. I follow my scholarship. And then now I've gotten knowledge, I've gotten experience in the higher education. Guess what? It's just a question of time. Some of those banks that I applied to that they never gave me jobs many years ago. It's a question of time. One day they will now look for me and they'll give me, what do they call it? Non-executive director. Executive director, chairman. Have you not seen those things? Those people they give those positions. Who do you think they are? Professor, PhD, experience in the UK. But if I had stayed there after my undergraduate to work with them, would they ever look for me later to come and be non-executive director? If your career is not even terminated, don't wake up one day and they sack you. You get so eventually with your PhD, you will now be a consultant to these same banks or this same energy company. You will now be a trainer. You will now be an executive or non-executive director because they will be dealing with you from a high standpoint of knowledge. Compared to if you stay back there, you want to grow there, then think of when you will now save enough money, quit banking or quit your job and now go and do PhD part-time and come back. So in the end, the choice is yours. But I've just explained how it works. You belong to academia, go for it while you are young, while you are fresh or hot. If you don't belong there, face your industry. Later, when you've made all the money, you can take a part-time PhD, get the title, network, get more knowledge. But that means you really don't belong to the classroom. Don't force yourself.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Dr. Gobles. There's one more question here from the same person. He said, what are the pros and the cons of getting a master's or a PhD? I guess this person wants you to talk about pros and cons of getting a master's and also the pros and cons of getting a PhD. I know you've mentioned some pros of PhD, but are there cons to it in terms of maybe your experience and whatever you have to say about stopping at the master's level or going further to PhD?
Analytic about pros. I don't know what you mean by cons, like disadvantages. A PhD opens doors for you that not having a PhD cannot open. There are places you will enter. The prestige, even for the personal transformation, the way you think, the way you process your critical thinking, you live life more robustly. So there's no disadvantage to it. The only thing you will say is that, which sometimes I tell to some people that it looks like it scares them. It can open you up for some emotional damage as well, because there are battles that come with PhD. That's the part people don't talk about a lot. If you are a Christian, you know that like when God created the heavens, like the fountains of the firmament were broken and waters filled the earth. So PhD is like a fountain of knowledge that you've gone to, and then it's now smashed open. So you see yourself swimming in the oceans of knowledge. You have gone into a depth and a realm that normal human beings don't go. So definitely it's going to give you some scars. That's the only thing I can call cons and just the challenges. For example, research in England shows that 1 out of every 4 PhD students experience suicidal thoughts, mental health, anxiety, depression, because it just comes with that PhD. Why? The kind of literature I read in the first year of my PhD alone, articles, reading, theories, dissecting literature, reading every day for 10 to 10 hours, studying. Like I want to use Christian example again. There was one example of Apostle Paul when he was talking. The one is it Felix or one of the rulers said, "Knowledge has made you mad." That's the example. So get to a point where knowledge can make you mad, not necessarily mad. Some people actually run mad actually, but not mad in the sense that you think at a higher level. So you are always critical. Even me as a Christian, the pastor is preaching, I'll just be looking at you because you need to convince me. I need a superior argument. I need convincing thought. I want to see your thought process. So if you are giving me contradictory statements, are you think of what you are saying? So you challenge things a lot. So those are the cons. The same way you accuse some of your lecturers in your university that they are madmen. They don't have, maybe they are divorced, or they are following ladies, or they are sadists. We use that word a lot for lecturer. That sadistic lecturer. Those are the cons. Like it looks like you're a mad person because you see many people as being stupid because you've attained certain levels of knowledge. But that's up to you again on how to balance knowledge and humility. Because knowledge makes people cocky. Knowledge puffs up. If you know, you know. So there's a way you speak with confidence, people will take it to be arrogance. But it's now left for you to balance your knowledge with humility. So those are just the little dark side of sticking for scholarship, seeking for extra knowledge. But it does is going to open for you. Let's not even go there. In your family, how many people have a PhD? How many people are professors? Think about it. It's not for everybody. The world population statistics show that it's about 1% of people that have a PhD. Or maybe it would have gone up to, even if it's 5%. World population, 5% getting a PhD. And out of that 5, it's not all PhD that are PhD. Some PhD are just go and collect the title, shall do it. The ones that are really PhD, that they put themselves into it, they got scholarship, they immerse themselves in knowledge. We know them now. They're the ones that are just title bearing doctor. That's what you are saying. You cannot. There's no sense. You don't have intellectual depth. You also know them. So that's all I can say about pros and cons. But certainly, maybe you give you some white bears like me, but your life will be better off if you belong there, if you really are called out for it. Thank you. We spent a lot of time already. I think you guys are just enjoying the gist.
Thank you so much, Dr. God bless. This session was so impactful, insightful. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Thank you for all the nuggets. Thank you so much. And I'm sure everyone has the same experience. Everyone has enjoyed all the information you shared today. And your LinkedIn, if anybody wants to connect with Dr. God bless, his LinkedIn is just type God bless Akaige, Akaighe. On LinkedIn, you would see his full profile there. It shows as God bless Akaige PhD FHEA. and feel free to connect with him. Feel free to ask him any other question that comes up maybe later on after the session has ended. And if you would like to also use his services, his educational consultancy, or you would like him to review your proposals, you can also reach out to him. He's an expert in reviewing. And when I say that, I mean it, because he has reviewed a number of my proposals too, and without his help, I might not have been able to get some opportunities I've also gotten. So be free and you can connect with him. You can ask him any other question that you'd encounter later in life. So that's the end of today's session. Thank you everyone for coming today. So sorry about the echo. I've tried to fix it. I've tried to. Okay, there's another question. It says, would you advise someone to go for a master's degree before going for a PhD? That's a quick one from Olalekan Fatai.
Thank you, Olalekan. Yes, I would advise that, especially if you're looking at doing a PhD in the UK. But even in America, you might not need a master's degree, but if you have it, it's also another advantage. So for you to go straight from bachelor's degree to PhD, it's always tough. There are opportunities that you may not get. When you have a master's degree, you can get those opportunities. So it's better. If you cannot study for a master's abroad, you can study for your master's degree in Nigeria. Just make sure you do it very well, and then start looking for PhD in the UK, US, and anywhere else. But it gives you that advantage than somebody that just has BSc in Nigeria searching for PhD in America. In the UK, if nobody will attend to you in the UK, because we have master students in the UK. So nobody will give you an offer with only a bachelor's from Nigeria. You will now need to come to the UK to do that master's, or already have the master's from Nigeria. So it's better. Of course, it's cheaper in Nigeria, and then you can do side trainings and opportunities that prepares you for PhD life. So it's a yes for me to get a master's degree before making applications for PhD. Thank you.
Thank you very much for answering that question, Dr. God bless. If nobody else has a question, we'll call it a day. I'll just wait 1 more minute for anyone who has a quick one to, just like Fatai did. Any other question from anyone, whether you want to unmute or you want to drop it as a chat? If there's no other question, I want to say thank you to everyone for showing up, everyone that has participated today. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for interacting with our guests. And I look forward to other sessions, and I would encourage everyone to also participate in other sessions in the future and take advantage of all the information you are getting to, hear from the guests, any guests that comes up in future sessions. So thank you very much. At this point, I'll say bye to everyone. Thank you once again, Dr. God bless, for coming today. Okay, so if anybody wants to catch up, I would drop the recording on YouTube. You know where to go. Just type Abimbola Joseph on YouTube. That's where all our recordings would be. It's or is there currently as a live video, but I would also upload the recording of subsequent sessions on the YouTube channel. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Elijah, also Abel, God's Gift, Ben, Olalekan, Lashubo, Oluwadam, Larry, also Promise, Victoria. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend.
Bye.